Chapter 6 Disappearance Jagwerye's Perspective. Pantheria, Hyena, and I went as quickly as we could to City Hall. By the time we got there, Lypye was gone. I even did a fly around above City Hall. Nothing. Jagwerye, Pantheria called. I looked over to her talking to a couple mortals. Can you come over here? I walked over to them. These two said they witnessed Kim and Lypye fighting. It's true, said the female. A bunch of us were passing City Hall when Lypye came running over, angry. We saw Kim fall down onto Lypye and attack her. My wife and I ran to our car to watch, said the male. They ran away after a little while. I pondered. Which direction did they run? In unison, the mortals pointed right, an area that leads to a small grocery store called Catzy Mart. I nodded at them. Thank you for the information. I motioned for Pantheria and Hyena to follow me. Hey, Pantheria started. Don't you think that's strange? I looked at her, confused. What? Pantheria rolled her eyes. Not the part with them fighting, but the fact that Kim was the one to start it? We stopped outside the doors to Catzy Mart. I shrugged. She is an immortal. I highly doubt that catfight was anything more than just Kim and Lypye being themselves. Hyena sighed. I'll do it. He pushed past us and walked into Catzy Mart. Idiot! Pantheria exclaimed, walking in behind him. I patiently walked behind Pantheria up to Hyena, who was already conversing with the manager. Are you serious? Are you sure? Hyena pushed. Yes, we were doing our work inside, he insisted. Hyena turned around and stomped off, mumbling, Then you're useless. Pantheria ran after him, most likely to scold him. I calmly looked at the manager. Apologies for my brother's behavior. I know you had mentioned that you did not see anything. Do you have any clue if there may be someone who did? He thought for a moment. How long ago was this? Estimated, I would say about 30 minutes ago. There may be someone. Jasmine Gross. She's only 15. I hope she didn't run into them. I felt a wash of fear sweep over me. Any clue where this mortal resides? He shook his head. Her mom is nice but extremely paranoid. No one outside of her family and school knows her address. I was annoyed, but kept my composure. Thank you for the information. I quickly walked away to where Pantheria and Hyena were. So, I have good news and bad news. They both stared at me curiously. So, the good news is, there is a high chance a mortal saw them. The bad news is, I am not sure where to find this mortal. Hyena elbowed Pantheria. Can you help us with that? Lifelines don't usually show addresses. I could attempt to look through various documents, but a city like New Katsikata would take weeks, she explained. Hyena threw up his hands. What other options do we have? A thought came to my head. The manager said that this girl is 15. Pantheria crossed her arms. What does that have to do with anything? Our disguises are registered students at the high school 2 miles away. We could find this mortal there, I exclaimed. Mortal's name is? Hyena asked. Jasmine Gross. Pantheria put her palm in her face. I know who this mortal is. Really? I chimed. Hyena shrugged. What name doesn't she know? You guys really need to pay attention. Pantheria sighed. All 3 of us have her for a classmate in English. I was shocked. Wait, what? When do I ever show up for class? Hyena added. She rolled her eyes. We'll try the plan. Chapter 7 To Be Normal, Jasmine's Perspective. I woke up to the sound of ferocious typing on the computer. Rubbing my eyes, I slowly sat up to see Lypye sitting on the edge of my bed on a laptop. Strands of hair were sticking out of her braid. Is that my laptop? I yawned. She nodded. Yeah. I successfully got myself registered as a new student at your school. I was confused. What? How? You didn't even have the legal documentation. She smirked. Don't I? She held up both a birth certificate and a social. I had a little B&E last night to forge the documents. Hacking into the security system was the easier part. I scooched over and looked over her shoulder. So, let me get this straight. You broke into the hospital and a federal building in your disguise and hacked the school website on my laptop? She nodded again. Yeah, but don't worry. I rerouted your IP address so they won't trace that back to you. I took a deep breath. First of all, thank you. Second of all, the point of a disguise is to hide you, and there's no point in that if you're going to incriminate yourself anyway. She put the laptop down, stood up, and put her hands on her hips, looking annoyed and angry. Okay, first of all, there's a reason I took care of the security system. Second of all, you have no right to judge me when you fell asleep in your school uniform. You've had the same outfit look for the past 10,000 years, and you didn't even know what a hairbrush was until last night. She raised her hand. I could still kill you. I grumbled in frustration. I hate you. She laughed. Oh, trust me. The feeling is mutual. Ugh! I screamed. Grabbing a spare uniform, I shoved it into Lypye's hands. Here! Change! She took out her hair tie and threw it at me. Why should I? She unraveled her hair until it was in 3 separate wavy sections. I don't know how a normal mortal works. This'll never work. I took a deep breath and put my hand on her shoulder. Look, I will help you. Put on the uniform. I'll help you with your hair after. Then we can go to school and I can help you. Lypye did what was asked, and I brushed out her hair, then put it into a really high ponytail. We were walking to school in silence. Hey, I started. I'm sorry about our fight earlier. She shrugged without looking at me. Forget it. No, I didn't mean what I said. She glared at me. Yeah? Well, I meant what I said. And if you're expecting an apology from me, you can forget it. I shook my head. What's your problem? Who said there's a problem? You're being really bitchy towards someone who's been trying to help you, I explained. If I hadn't threatened you, would you have reported my location? I went silent, not answering, but looking down. Exactly. You could care less about me or what happens to me. I tensed up and slapped her. Honestly, you're right. I don't care about you, but I also don't care about myself either. My family, on the other hand, means a lot to me, and I would do anything to protect them from beings like you. She held her cheek in shock. Strike me again and you can kiss your family goodbye. I clenched my fists and stormed out fast, tearing up. How was I supposed to signal for help without Lypye noticing? Suddenly, I remembered. A mortal, once old enough, gets a button to silently signal the Syara team for help. Slowly, I reached into my pocket, but felt nothing. I heard a loud whistle from behind me and turned around to see Lypye holding the device, smirking. She quickly ran to catch up with me. Do you really think I'm that stupid? Good thing I'm a great pickpocket. I looked down, refusing to look her in the eyes. Let's just get to class.